Greetings once again, fellow book lovers. It's time for another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online, where I present to you a book that I've read, reviewed, and recommend. And today's book is The Teacher by Tim Sullivan. This retails for $28.99 in the United States, $41.99 in Canada, and it is 385 pages long. This is book 6 of the D.S. George Cross series. Previous books have included The Dentist, The Politician, and The Cyclist. And Tim Sullivan has an interesting way of writing George Cross. He is an investigator, and he's a very methodical person at that. And he's going to need his street smarts when an elderly gentleman by the name of Alistair Morton is found dead. It appears he fell down his stairs and broke his neck. But as George Cross investigates, he finds some strange wounds on the elderly man's body, plus there are dog bites, and he can't quite put it together. Now, the gentleman, Alistair Morton, he really kept to himself in that town. But as George Cross investigates into the man's life, he finds there's a lot going on that could give reason for people to want him dead. Way back, he was a headmaster at the All Saints School. And he wasn't just a headmaster, he was a taskmaster, because he was constantly taking either canes or straps or whatever, and he was almost beating the children if they did anything that upset him. He even had canes that he gave names to. So he was someone who was feared by all the children, and he was hated by the children too. So it sort of, is reason to believe that one of the students from way back had been harboring this hatred for the man for many, many years, and decided, maybe it was time for revenge. So George Cross originally had a former partner. Her name was Josie Aussie, but she's on leave. So he gets another partner, Bobby Warner, from another police department. Now, Bobby Warner does things much differently than George Cross. And so the two clash like oil and water. And it really becomes interesting because Bobby Warner has all these suspects. In fact, they arrest somebody that George Cross doesn't understand why he was arrested. It's an impulsive arrest, but George Cross thinks the killer is still out there, and he's doing everything within his power to bring the killer to justice. Now, in the book, there's another interesting occurrence involving a police officer and a sexual assault of a woman. But the main story is Alistair Morton being found dead. But George Cross really goes all out in looking at different kinds of dogs and looking at all the people, because the suspect list is really, really long, because it seems like Alistair Morton made a lot of enemies at that school. So this book really keeps you guessing. It's a police procedural, meaning there is it's more dialogue and character. Like there are no shootout gunfights or things like that. It's a methodical mystery where you guess along with the George Cross, and it makes for a most enlightening read. So if you like your police mysteries slow and steady, this book definitely is that and more. So if you do purchase it, drop me a line. Let me know if you do agree with my review. I hope you will, and I think you will too. So thank you for watching. I'll be back again very soon with another excellent book that I'm reading right now. So until then, as I always say, stay safe, stay healthy, stay in touch, and I will see you at the bookstore. Bye for now.